Hello and welcome. Hello, can you hear me, Suleka?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Super.
How are you doing?
Good, good. So I will be a bit like in the kitchen, but I will make a mute a bit. So I hope
Don't
that's
worry.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. Yeah, some people, I had some guests that said that will arrive a little, some of them said maybe arrive later or something like that.
Okay.
So I have another guest here, also Marisol. She is listening. And she
Hello.
is listening from Mexico, and we have Tzureka here in Switzerland. So
Hi, Tzureka.
Hi.
I'm recording this, Tzureka, so if that's okay for you, I continue. In the case the contrary, I can stop the recording.
Perfect.
Okay, all right, this is good. All right, so I will start with the presentation now because I wouldn't like it to be so long, and then of course or ask questions. So that we start. Oops. Yes. Okay. Please tell me if you can see my screen. If it's visible for you.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So I'll start with the presentation. And I made it because, of course, every change of a year gives us a lot of new things. And I think it's also a great excuse to start doing all the things we really want to do. We can do it at any time of the year, at any age, of course. However, like I always say, let's take the excuse of the new year to really start doing what we always wanted and become the person we want to be. So here are some many simple topics and some more complex topics that we're going to talk about how to hack with a practical way these New Year resolutions, because even if within a year we can have this opportunity of starting something new or feeling like even the motivation or more energy in a way, in the other hand, it can be overwhelming because sometimes we put a lot of meat in the fire, like some people say. So it's important that we do it smart and we do it gradually, and we will talk about that. So that's why I wanted to call it New Year, New Hacks, because I think life should be practical. There are many complications already in life, but if we can do it as practical and simple as possible, I think it's amazing. And we will make ourselves and other people a favor. So we will start talking how to work better on our New Year resolutions. And at the end, we will share our experiences. And one of the main parts of this webinar is also to stop beating you up and start building yourself up, which is changing a negative or a negative cycle into a positive cycle. And we will have the tools to do that. So there's a lot of people that say that they want to wait for motivation to do stuff. And when they feel motivated, then start doing things. Maybe they are going out more or study more or work out more or work more. However, as you may know, motivation is not every day there. And so there are many other things you can do to stick into your resolutions, your New Year resolutions, and especially to become the person you want to be. And you don't really need motivation because, again, let's face it, motivation is not always going to be there. We need to create new habits. We need to create a new way for us to make things easier and make it happen. And so we have this vicious cycle I was telling you that we want to transform into the virtuous one. So one of the things we can do is write your new goals. So I would say the first thing to do is write your new goals without any judgment. Just take a piece of paper. I think if you do it by hand, it's better. Of course, you can also do it in your computer or iPad or anywhere you prefer. So first, I would suggest to do a brainstorm to let everything out. Then you choose the most important and realistic goals you want to focus on, and then you make it measurable. After that, you will translate all this into actions and habits. And when I mean make it measurable, I'm going to be giving some examples of very simple things we can do in order to achieve our goals. So a very important thing that this has been said by many therapists and people that work on personal development is you really need to focus on the why. And this is very simple. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people that say, oh, I want to improve in this area of my life. I want to have a raise. I want to make more money. I want to look better, like we all do, right? However, if you just think in a vague way and if you don't really focus on the why, it's going to be very difficult, and it's going to be complex for many reasons. But one, it's because you're not basing a new effort, a new habit you need to develop into something that it's very deep, very meaningful for you. That's why it's welcome, Paola. Very nice to see you. And that's why it's very important that you write your why. So once you have had your brainstorm of Hola, muy buenas tardes. Qué bueno que andes por aquí.
Adesso.
Okay. So continuing then with the goals, once you have the brainstorm of all the goals and when you choose the most realistic and most important for you, you need to write the why for each of the goals. So this is why you're making, you want something to happen, or why you want to become or have or do a certain thing. So these are some examples. If you want to buy a car, if you only say, I want to work more, or I want to find, I don't know, an extra job or whatever, or I want to raise because I want to buy a car, it doesn't mean it's not possible, but it means if you just think and stick to, I want to buy a car, it's going to be more difficult. However, if you focus on your why, it's going to give you this extra push to achieve it. For example, I want to buy a car because I want to provide a more comfortable life for me and my family. It's very different also to say, I want to stop smoking, or, oh, smoking is not good for me, but I kind of enjoy it. I heard a lot of people saying that. So let's keep that away and focus on why it's important to quit smoking. So I want to stop smoking because I want to be healthy and set a good example. This is especially for people that maybe are working on a team or in your family or with your friends, right? So setting an example and being healthy, it's a much more meaningful and serious why than just sticking to the simple, I want to stop smoking. If you say stop smoking, it's kind of vague, you know. Same thing, I want to make more money, it's kind of vague again, and it has no substance. But if you say, I want to make more money because I want to make more opportunities for me and my loved ones, that it's a whole different story. And this, I heard one CEO of a very successful company I worked before, he told me once, like, everyone says they want to make more money, but that's not true. Nobody really wants to make money for the sake of it. They all have dreams. They all want to provide things for themselves, for their families, to do charity, to help others, you know. And that's a reason, and that's a different story when you wake up in the morning. And very important also to be specific. So if you want, for example, to read more, that's very vague again. So it can be very overwhelming. So something you can do is sit down, just take a little bit of time, see what kind of books you want to read this year, not in your life, let's be more specific, this year. Choose a few books, then check the number of pages, divide it realistically by weeks and then by days. You set this in your calendar, set a reminder, And I assure you, this is a way more practical and very simple way to make things work. I give you another example. If you have a book of 300 pages, you need to read 75 pages a week, which means 15 pages a day, to read one book a month. And these 15 pages are only 5 days a week, which means in the weekend you can do something else. And I'm sure if we really take the time to read 15 pages a day, it's not a long time, you know. It could take you maybe 20, 30 minutes, you know, of your day, and that means you're reading one book a month. Also, one thing I suggest, when can you read? If you're making it a new habit, you can read while you're commuting, in case you do, before sleeping, during your lunch break, or very simple, wake up a little bit earlier and do it in the morning. Also, make it positive. This is very important because our brains accept suggestions easily when they are in positive. So this is a very common one, is losing weight. A lot of people say they want to lose weight. Of course, you can lose weight with many other tools, with many other, let's say, activities. However, it's harder when you have in your mind lose, because your mind is wired not to lose anything, because we have a big part in our minds still present is the primitive mind, which is another webinar we already did, we might repeat. But that means a part of our mind doesn't like the word lose. It's negative for us, the word lose. So instead of saying I want to lose weight, you can just say I want to be fit, I want to be healthy. And that is already a gain in making it easier for your mind to accept this new suggestion or this new resolution you want. Important also is to say it in present tense. Why? Because also it wires your brain to achieve this goal faster. It's not something you're seeing in the future, you are thinking it right now. Some people say it, fake it until you make it. Yes, you can see it that way, or you can just see it in a more scientific way. You are wiring your brain in order to already think and start behaving and working towards that goal, because you're saying something already, your brain is working on that. Obviously, that's not it. I'm just giving you some hints that little by little, very simple things and hints that can make you achieve your goals way faster. So, of course, for different results, we require different actions, and that's what we're talking about in this presentation. And that means something a lot of us don't like, I think almost nobody likes, it's go out of our comfort zone. And that is, you need, oh, hello, Nura, very welcome. I'm very glad to see you. I mean, to have you here. So, going, hi. Okay, I'm just gonna mute for a little bit, and then at the end we have the questions and the sharing experiences. So then be for the comfort zone. So you need to put in mind and be ready to take action with intention, so that we are open for new opportunities, for challenges, and start practicing embracing change, which again, it's something very difficult because it's related to our primitive mind. So the primitive mind, what we need to do with that part of us that is the one that resists change, is to talk to it, not resist it or not fight it, but talk to it in a way that it's kind of explaining a little kid what's going on when the adult is taking charge of their life. So for example, if there is a new habit that you want, for example, taking a walk in the morning, of course, your mind is going to resist that. It's going to tell you that it's better if you sleep, it's better if you stay home because it's cold outside, etc. So you just need to know it's a resistance from your mind. Your mind is always trying to do the best for you. Doesn't mean it's doing anything wrong, but you need to explain it. Okay, this is something that may be a little bit uncomfortable, but actually it's something very good for me because it's gonna make me feel healthier. It's gonna give me more energy. I'm gonna sleep better, be more focused. So I want to do this, you know. So that's a way to guide your mind in a more positive way. Be creative. So this is another important one, because there's some people that say that they want to, for example, do many things, and they say the typical situations I hear is, I don't have money or I don't have time. And believe me, I know a lot of us are very busy, but when you really want to do something, you find the time. And in many cases, you really don't need the money. When you are creative, when you have a very strong intention, then you start being more creative and patient, and then you can achieve any goal. And again, you don't need money. Money is really the less of the problems. So, for example, you want to work out, but you don't have money to go for a gym or for a personal trainer. No problem. You can watch a lot of videos on tutorials on YouTube. You can read books. You can ask any specialist or a doctor, any friend or acquaintance. I'm sure you know somebody that may be an expert, or at least know more than you about this. So you can ask for advice. Another would be learn a language. Again, you can watch some videos. You can go to free language exchanges, or there are also some apps that are for free for languages. So don't let it stop you. If your intention it's to do something, to become something, you're gonna find the way. So stating your resolution through habits to make it. Oh, sorry again. So you need to state, the fact is, you don't need to state your resolution as a goal, but you need to state it through habits to make it really become true. So instead of saying, and this is again working a lot with our mind, because our mind is very powerful. So instead of thinking, I want to be fit, you can change it for, I am fit. I go for a walk 10 minutes every day. Instead of saying, I want to eat healthy, just having a desire, like in the future, you want to say, right now, I am healthy. I eat healthy. I love healthy food. And you can even use, again, your agenda, your calendar, and say, maybe, I don't know, from Monday to Friday, I'm going to cook a salad, or I'm going to stick to this salad. And when you use the calendar, when you use reminders, it's also a great way to help yourself for these new habits. So another would be, I want to travel more. Okay, I plan a trip according to my budget, to my time. And then I can see also if I want to have company, or if I want to have a trip alone, and schedule it and do it. When you have a companion also, it can make it easier in some cases. So we often underestimate what we can do in a day, but we underestimate what we can do on a year. So this happens a lot to a lot of people, even to very successful people I know. Oh, sorry again. So this is why it's so important. And one of the keys of this webinar is to show you how you can organize yourself better in your calendar, with some templates, to put reminders, maybe to have a mentor or someone accountable. And then you will see, maybe you do one thing on a day and you think it's very little, but when you put all these things during the year, you know, you will accomplish a lot, and you will become and have and do many things you really wanted to do. So plan it. One part of planning is to know yourself better. You can achieve this with meditation, therapy, self-improvement, readings, and courses. Also, you can check when you function best. For example, there are some people that are morning people, right? So if you're a morning person, you want to set your most difficult tasks in the morning. If you're more an afternoon or evening person and you're more productive at that time, well, set the most difficult tasks at that time. These may seem very simple, but I'm pretty sure A lot of people, at least a lot of people I know, are not so aware and especially don't organize their tasks in this way. So we just need to work, we don't really need to work harder, we just need to work smart. Then you create a year, a month, a week chart where you put all the tasks you need to do in order to achieve your goals. And I will show you how in a little bit. Very important, be careful with the burnout and with spontaneous motivations. Careful with the burnout, obviously don't put too many things, especially in a short period of time. Really knowing yourself, put the tasks in the calendar that you know you're really going to accomplish. And then when you see it in a long run, you will see that in a few months, in a whole year, you will accomplish a lot. And that will also give you a peace of mind. And the spontaneous motivations, you can never rely on spontaneous motivations. You can rely in your mind and in habits, that yes. And when setting this plan, of course, you need to be brave and realistic. So do it gradually. Again, this needs to be realistic in order to make it happen and in order to avoid it being overwhelming. So for example, it may seem, a lot of people think this doesn't work, but actually this is the easiest and the fastest way to make a new habit work. For example, instead of saying, I want to run for 1 hour, start walking. And start walking in a very simple way, especially if it's a new habit, a physical activity. So all January, I'm going to walk for 10 minutes. A lot of people say, no, I want to do more. Do 10 minutes. Once you stick with your 10 minutes, go for more. Usually, as some of you may know, you need 21 days to create a new habit. So I would say do it for a month or at least for 21 days. And then you do it gradually and it's gonna become easier, it's gonna become more fun, and most importantly, it's gonna stick because it's going to become a new habit for you. And then, of course, schedule it. Scheduling, it's a great way to organize yourself. You can have a physical agenda. There are some beautiful agendas with really nice, very cool designs, or you can do it digitally. I would, in any case, I would really suggest to put some reminders on it. And then, oh, by the way, sorry, if there are some comments or suggestions, please write it on the chat. So just for matter of a time, everyone's on mute now. So I do it so that we can have time at the end. But please feel free to share any comments or questions or whatever you want to share. You're very welcome. And then, like I was saying, 21 days is the amount of days you need to create a new habit. And so again, choose a few new habits you want to stick in with, and then little by little you add others. You can use, and I really suggest using visualization, because that it's going to give you also the input in your brain to wire you to do that. And I will explain also later how to do a very great and easy visualization in the morning. It takes you less than 5 minutes. Meditation, there are many types of meditations. Whatever works for you, it's fine. Again, doesn't need to be like you do 2 hours a day. You can do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, little by little, it's going to work and make you feel better and work better. There are also great audios for relaxing. Also binaural beats are amazing. And something nurturing, something positive that it's coming into your brain while you're listening to an audio. It's a very good idea also to start sticking to a new habit. So one more thing, this phrase I like from this guy, Jesse Jackson: both tears and sweat are salty. They render a different result. Tears will get you sympathy and sweat will get you change. So I don't want this to get, we do need to make an effort for sure. We do need to make things in a different way to have different results. However, it doesn't mean we need to work extremely hard. We just need to put the effort and work smart. So the confidence and procrastination. I think this is a very important, this is a very important part. And I've heard this with a lot of people, like from all over the world, with different cultures, different backgrounds, ages. A lot of people say their problem is their procrastination. Even very successful people I've heard saying they have problems with procrastination. So organizing and all the things we were talking about before are very, very important. However, one of the most deep things and most important things you can do in order to create the life you want to be and the resolutions you want for this year and the rest of your life is to create more confidence in you. It has to do a lot of feeling enough, of loving yourself and accepting yourself the way you are. Because when you have confidence, you're gonna make more things come true. There are so many reasons why we don't do what we want to do. If you have your new resolutions and you're not making them real, doesn't mean you can't, or it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means there's something behind that you need to work on to make it happen, because I'm pretty sure most of your resolutions are actually something you can really do, that you have the ability to do and the time to do it. That's why it's very important to work on your own confidence. So this is, again, you need to stop beating yourself up and start building yourself up. You can focus on your wins, even the small ones, that will boost your self-confidence. And the things that you didn't like or that you think you could have done better, instead of saying it's a mistake, just say, okay, it's a learning process, and now I know I can improve in this part. You need to be very patient, positive, and focused. These are also key. And like I was saying, also having someone accountable can help a lot. Can be a mentor, can be a family friend, specialist, a coach, a therapist, and it's also a good reason to contact all friends or acquaintances. And this is a phrase I really wanted to share with you. Just give me a second, because I'm trying to move something in the computer, but it's not working. Okay, 1 second, and we go back. Okay, so life is short. Just think about it. Life is short, and we have no time to play small. No one in the world knows everything, and it's okay not to know everything. It's okay to doubt. It's okay to make mistakes. We all do. Every person in the world does it. We all do that, but what we don't all do is to learn from that and grow. Most people just blame others, an external situation, and play the victim. We have all done it. This is not to judge or point the fingers. We have all done it, and that's also okay. But we're here to make this change, this shift in our lives. And an important research made by the Harvard University with a lot of elderly people was the advice and the things they would regret the most. They said, my advice would be do more, dare more. And the number one regret was the things they didn't do, not what they did, but what they didn't do. So just keep that in mind. A part of achieving your goals is going to be learning to say no. And I know it's not pretty. I know some of you that are here in the webinar that are lovely people, lovely souls, very sweet people with a big heart. However, like I may have talked to some of you, saying no doesn't mean you're a bad person or that you're selfish. It may be difficult. Just take it as a new sport. You need to practice it to make it happen, okay? It can be difficult in the beginning, but the more you do it, the easier it will get. And you need to say no for sure to certain things and people in order to become the person you want to be and achieve the goals you want to. So just think about it. The only person you will always be responsible for is yourself. Obviously, the people that have children, you are also responsible for them, but there will be a certain time where you will not be responsible for them. You will always love them and be there to support them for sure. However, there will be a time where they will be responsible for themselves when they grow up. But the only person you're really responsible for the rest of your life is you. So becoming your best version, one, sets an example for others, and also makes you give more, because the better you are, the more you can give. So keep in mind saying no. Also, taking care of yourself, it's very important. The better shape you are in mentally, physically, and spiritually, for the spiritual people, is the best performance you will have. Again, schedule time to nurture. You deserve it. Put it in your calendar, put a reminder. There are many things you can do. You don't need a lot of time. You don't need money. You don't need money. So nature, you can do walks in nature. Petting animals is also very good. You can swim, you can do some outdoor sports, also relax with readings, meditation, audios, also therapy, because we all have wounds. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you or you have a huge problem or a trauma. No, you're a human being. You have been through some difficulties, some people more than others, but just because you're a human being, you have some wounds, you have been, you were through pain in your life, right? So therapy is also very important, really, it can really relieve your mind, your soul, your body, and empower you. That's why I also talk about this. And of course, in order to do that, we need to let the ego aside and ask for support. You can ask your friends, you can ask, again, a therapist, or you can ask a coach or someone you trust. And there is the breathing. There are many breathing exercises. Whatever works for you, it's fine. There is the 4 phase that I always suggest. It's very easy. So you decide how many seconds you do. You can start maybe with 5 seconds. And then you do it, you inhale for 5 seconds. You keep it inside for 5 seconds. Then you exhale for 5 seconds again. And then you keep the void for 5 seconds. That will give you a lot of more relaxation and more clarity. You can also do it like 5 minutes. Again, it's not really a matter of something complicated or that takes time. It's very simple, it's for free, and you can do it quickly. And like we were saying, this is not much, this is not to work hard, but to work smart. So a very important point too is also technique overtakes time. Talking again about working smart, there are many examples. The people that participated in the last webinar, we also talked about this. There are techniques that make you achieve the goals you want easier and faster. Just because a lot of people don't know and might be skeptical doesn't mean they don't work. And a great example is this guy, Tim Ferriss. He has a lot of world records. An example is he didn't know anything about dancing, and he took tango lessons, and he went to the tango championship in Argentina after a few months of training on tango. While there are Argentinians that they have it in their blood, they do it for years, and it takes them a lot to go to this championship. This guy, Tim Ferriss, he's not a genius. He's just like you and me. He just really focused on find the techniques that make things work better and faster. And also, as you may know, I'm a therapist. So obviously I like to talk about what I do because I love it. I've seen the changes on other people and on myself. So for example, there are different types of therapy. Whatever works for you, it's fine. I just, in this case, also suggest try a therapy that is effective, that is faster. The therapy I do, for example, it usually takes 2 to 5 sessions for, let's say, a standard topic. If it's something very simple like biting your nails or quit smoking, 1 is enough in most cases. And then only in cases that are very complex, let's say a person that went to war or with a severe depression, then in that case, it may take 6 sessions or more. So consider it. Keep it on your mind, and then see if this is something that you want to work on. By the way, the therapy I do, it works very fast because we work with the subconscious mind. So it's very easy for the person. You just need practically to be there, sitting down, to be open, and that's it. I guide you through this deep relaxation. Hypnosis, what we use is hypnosis, which is another way to say deep relaxation. So when you are deeply relaxed and you achieve other mind states like alpha and theta, you can really, you are super suggestible, and also you can easily arrive to the root cause of your problem. Because in many cases, the reason we continue with the same patterns and blocks and suffering is because we may work on the problem, but kind of superficially. But when we really arrive to the root cause of the problem, and we can easily arrive through using the subconscious mind, then that's when you can make the real and lasting change, arriving to the root cause. And after we arrive to the root cause of the problem, working with the subconscious mind, then we heal it and empower you. And it's a beautiful, beautiful work, and I wouldn't do anything else in my life. So it's just amazing. Then we have the fear list, which is going to empower you again, because this is about becoming more confident and empowered. So this can also be fun. Even if it's a fear list, it can be fun. So I would say, write a list on some things you are afraid to do. Obviously, nothing that puts your life in danger. Please, safety first, absolutely. But let's say I am afraid of speaking in public. You can join a Toastmasters or any other course or seminar that helps you to talk in public, which it's always useful. Or I'm learning a new language and I'm afraid to speak it because I know I'm going to make a mistake. Okay, dare yourself to do it little by little and speak with someone native in this language. And maybe you speak for 5 minutes when you meet, maybe next time you speak for more, and stuff like that. So the fear list is very powerful because that will give you the sense of empowerment. That means I am so afraid to do this, but once you did it, you're gonna feel like, oh my God, I never thought I could do this. This is amazing. So if I can do this, if I can overcome this fear, I can do much more. And again, you have empowerment, you have confidence, which is very important in order to become the person you want to be and make your new resolutions come true. An example of these are the cold plunge. And I know some people here in the webinar have done it, which is amazing. And I can share very briefly that I did it for just as a personal challenge. However, it's been amazing because it's been very empowering. It has given me more confidence and also a lot of other advantages. You sleep better, you have more energy, your immune system boosts incredibly, and many other stuff. Of course, when it's about health, please ask your doctor or make your own research and then apply it if this can work for you. Okay, volunteering. Also, I really I like to make emphasis in this. Volunteering is amazing. It's really beautiful that you can give your time, your love, your knowledge to someone. There are so many reasons to do it. One is obviously to contribute to society, to support others, okay, especially people that have less advantages than you. And one very important one that I don't think I've heard anybody saying it is this grows a lot your self-esteem. So it's going to give you more confidence and more sense of being worthy. Another reason why people don't make their new year resolutions come true is because in a way, they don't feel worthy or because they're not confident to do it. So volunteering is amazing. It's a win-win. You're helping others, but you're also empowering yourself and gaining, of course, a new experience. So for volunteering, I would say search something you can do for others or for your community in a safe way, of course. If you can do it in person, I think it's better. However, if not, you can do it online. There are so many things you can do: help animals, the nature, the elderly. You can even do translations. You can help refugees, anything. Whatever you think it's good for you. If you are not sure, you can ask somebody to give you a hand with this and choosing. And of course, it's going to be a new experience and new learning, and you're going to value more who you are, the people you have around you, and the life you have. And of course, make it fun. So yes, we need to make some efforts. However, it doesn't mean it needs to be difficult or boring. You can make it fun. There are many podcasts or fun videos or calls you can have with your friends about these New Year resolutions that can make it fun, that can make it that can make you enjoy the process. And also there is an opportunity to discover the artistic you. That means give you more time to develop this artistic and sensitive part of you. Can be you just write freely without any judgment, just whatever the first thing that comes to your mind. And it's also very relaxing. You can just draw, you can paint, you can play an instrument, and being in nature is also amazing. So we're almost at the end. The key points for this are the intention and feeling worthy, feeling enough, okay? So we talked a lot about being scheduling stuff, a lot of practical advice to do, which of course helps. But I would say the two most important points are the intention and feeling worthy and enough. So keep this in mind. And again, we talked during this webinar of how you can feel worthy, how you can feel enough, or in other words, how you can also feel more confident and empowered. And the intention means basically whenever you're doing something, really be present and keep in mind the intention you have, your why for this new resolution. Okay, just give me 1 second. I have to do something. If you can please mute your microphone, we're almost at the end and we can talk. So, oops. Okay, so routines, again, it's important to make it fun so you can enjoy whatever you're doing, your new routine. So the environment is very important. So whether you are at home or at work, make a nice environment, a pleasant environment for you. The decoration you do in the place you work, your study at home. Also, you can give yourself a tasty treat during the day, something that makes you feel good, not only like you're working. Celebrate your wins. Again, even small wins, they are very important because they encourage you and give you confidence. Be realistic with your routines. Don't overdo it. We don't want burnout, or we don't want you to quit just because you put too much stuff on the plate. There are morning and night routines. I have some suggestions, and I will give them to you at the end. And you can also partner with someone. If you partner with someone, make sure it's someone that is not going to judge you and that is not going to excuse you. Like we talked in the last webinar, excusing someone and judging someone, or excusing yourself and judging yourself, are one of the most damaging things you can do in your life. Okay, so if you're going to partner with someone, make sure it's someone that is going to encourage you, not judge you and not excuse you. So willpower is underestimated. The subconscious is where the power lays. Something else, something practical you can do is you can have your weekly, monthly, and yearly review. So you can see what's working, what's not working, and of course, celebrate your wins and adjust. How to celebrate your wins? You just acknowledge it to yourself. You can treat yourself in so many ways, even just have I take 10 minutes for a walk in nature, or I listen to this relaxing audio, or I have this healthy treat, or I go with whoever I want to go, and share it with your loved ones to support you and also to inspire them. That's a beautiful thing. So I'm not going to stop too much into this because we're almost at the end. But as you know, I put in the chat, if all the people that are kind enough to answer the survey, I will send you these tips and other information of the webinar if you kindly respond to this very short survey. So quickly, some of the tips are: use the mirror. The mirror exercise is very powerful. So you just write some very specific phrases. For example, I am enough, I am fit, I am healthy, I make progress every day, I am patient, I love and accept myself as I am. This is very powerful. So you just write it on a little note, on a post-it, and when you're in the mirror, say it, looking into your eyes. This is very important. Look into your eyes when you're saying this. It doesn't have to be a poem. It can be just a very brief phrase that is going to support you in this new you that you're becoming, and obviously to make your resolutions come true. Morning routines and night routines are very important. In the morning routine, there are so many things you can do. One of the most important ones is to do visualization with intention. Sorry, can you please mute your microphones? Hi, Marina, nice to see you.
Hi, also to me.
Thank you. And so in the morning routine, yes, this is very easy. So before you wake up, before you get up, when you just woke up, don't get up. You can have your eyes closed or open as you prefer. You just take 5 minutes or even 3 minutes in bed, and you start imagining and visualizing the goals you want to achieve, the day, how you want it to be, in a positive way, obviously. This is very powerful, and it's important that you do it right when you wake up without getting up, because when you wake up, you are in a much more receptive way, because you're still sometimes in alpha state, which is very beneficial and where you are very naturally receptive to suggestions. And yeah, you can do meditation, priming exercise. There's one of Tony Robbins that it's amazing. Workout, journaling, etc. Night routine, very similar. I just would add for the night routine, avoid screens of any type, computers, iPad, your mobile, 1 hour before. And there are Google templates for planning the years that I want to show you. I'll show you after this, the template in Google. And then, like we were saying, you need to know yourself. So check when you function best. There are some audios in a meditative state, alpha and theta, that are amazing, and they make you very receptive to suggestions. So this is an easier way to already wire your mind into who you want to be and what you want to achieve. Meditation, therapy, clear your room, closet, workplace. This is also very powerful when you start giving away or throwing into the garbage things that you don't need anymore. And when you do that, please do it with intention. Intention, it's very, very important. Just don't do it mechanically. Do it with intention of, for example, I know I haven't worn a lot of clothes, so I'm going to, with intention, I'm going to take the things that, the clothes that I don't need anymore. And that's also, it means also to me, I'm going to take out of my life things that I don't need anymore to make space for something new, something better. Drink a lot of water. Surround yourself by people that want to thrive. Important one too. Find mentors. This is the Gantt chart, the one I was telling you about. This is for free. If you have a Google account, you can find it. This is amazing. I'm using it for the first time for my personal life, and it's just amazing. It gives you a lot of clarity. It's going to take you some time to do it, but it's totally worth it, because you can put everything you need to do during the year, divided by weeks, by months, and by trimesters if you want, semesters. And then you know things are taken care of, instead of just having them on your mind or 1,000 post-its. So I will give you, like I said, I will give you a gift to those that are kind to answer the survey. So in the tips of this chat. So thank you very much for joining, and thank yourself for taking this time for you. And now we are going to share a little bit a Q&A and share our experiences. So if there's anyone that want to share, oh, I see more people now. Rahmat, so I'm so happy that you joined, and two Paolas and Patrick. So nice to see you here. Balázs, my Hungarian friend, and as he knows, I'm the only one that can pronounce his name perfectly as a Hungarian. And Marina, I'm so happy to see you again. Marisol and Sureka, very nice to see you. So if anyone wants to share, if you guys have questions or want to share, also if you have any tip or your experience about this, you're very welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to share, I write it in the chat. Just
Uh-huh.
sometimes we compare a lot with the other people and we try to be like them, but we try, like I've heard or I've read a lot that we need to compare with ourselves more than the other ones and be better, try to be better from last year, but from our life, not from others' lives. And I wrote about it, about the books, because I know a lot of people, most in Europe, that they read a lot. In Mexico, we don't have that culture. So I don't read a lot. But last year I read like, I don't know, 7 books, 8 books at the
That's
most.
great. Yeah.
That is not a lot, but it's more than the average in Mexico.
Definitely.
So this year I set a goal to at least to read a book at least once a month. It's not a lot compared to what a lot of people that reads. So I'm not gonna compare with them, but I'm gonna compare with myself and try to be better in this year. So that's I think that's what you said in the meeting today. So that's why I love it. And I want also to thank you, because that's what we have to do, set goals that are real. I'm not gonna say I'm going to read 50 books this year, because a lot of people read that. No, I'm going to set goals that are measurable, that are things that I know I can achieve. So I want to thank you as always, that it's amazing to hear all the good things to help us be better each day. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you, and great point, Marisol. This thing of comparing yourself is actually very damaging, and again, we all do it. Everything we talk about here is never with judgment. It's just to be aware of the things that are not helping us. And one thing is comparing to others, because everyone's different. Like we said before, no one knows everything. However, every people have a different experience, are different, and feel different, think different. So it's ridiculous to compare to them. You can see them as an example or as an inspiration, absolutely, but comparing is another thing. So thank you, Marisol, for the great input. We need to think in our life in the way we are, and the more we know ourselves and set measurable, realistic goals, the more we're gonna do. And like you were saying, if you wanna read 50 books, you can achieve it, but you need to do it gradually. So with examples I gave you, you can do it very easily. Maybe you start this year, like you said, 1 book a month or 1 book every 2 months, whatever sounds good for you. And then next year, you're gonna do more and more. So thank you again for the lovely comments. Anyone else that wants to share something? A tip or ask a question? Oh, but sorry, before I let you speak, one more thing. Guys, as you may know, since you started this webinar, this is recorded. So if you stay here, that means you agree with this recording. If you don't agree, that's fine. Just let me know, because if somebody doesn't agree, then I'm just gonna keep it for myself. But if you agree, I would like to publish it so that it can be useful for other people. Is that okay with everybody? Paola says yes. Guys, the rest, is that okay? If someone is not okay with this, I accept it. No problem. Just please let me know, because otherwise I'm gonna publish. Okay, people are writing on the chat. Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so I think Paola, you wanted to say something? You are in mute. Let me ask you to unmute.
Okay, ¿ya me pueden escuchar? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, just to say thank you to you, because I think that you are giving us the perfect tools to improve ourselves. I mean, this the affirmations that you told us are very important, I think. Like sometimes I'm practicing, and when I'm saying, like, it really gives me like very it make me feel very confident in these days. So I think it's very, very important, and the most important is that you really believe it, because Otherwise, you can say it like many times, and it's good because you are giving these instructions to your brain. But also you have to believe that you are really like the person that you want to be, you know, or just the affirmations that you are saying. So yeah, I think it's like a very powerful. And also I think like writing on the notebooks, like the things that you want to do or whatever. I mean, it's sometimes it's difficult for me, you know, to try to organize everything, but I think that it helps a lot. And yeah, thank you so much for all the information that you have already told us.
Thank you so much, Paola, and also thanks a lot for sharing, because I know it's not easy, especially when we're talking about our personal stuff. And Paola, that it's a Mexican influencer. I'm very happy we're here, and yeah, totally agree with you. I mean, yes, like you said, if you put these affirmations, if you say them, like if you repeat them, they are good, they're gonna work. But if you don't really believe them, they're not gonna work as much and as fast as they could. So very good point. Also, we need to start believing it, and like we mentioned before, to say it with intention. It's not gonna be easy in the beginning, like almost anything, it's easy in the beginning. Okay, no problem, we just need practice. So we're gonna continue practicing. Please try it, just give it a try with a mirror. Put the phrases on a mirror, simple ones, and look into your eyes when you do it. This is very powerful, and this will give you a brain wire more powerful than just saying it.
I want to make another comment, if you let me.
Sure,
like,
sure.
For example, the last year I ran a marathon, so this kind of affirmations was very important for me, because like on the race, like I was like in the 20-30 kilometer and I was already exhausted, but in my mind already was worked. So I was repeating like, I'm powerful, I'm resisting, I train for this. And yeah, it's amazing how the mind is working when you are really believe it and you already work your mind as much as you can. So yeah, thank you, Letty, again.
No, totally true. No, thank you for sharing this, because these are really pearls you guys are giving, and it's totally true, and that works. I will share it very quickly with a cold plunge that I know, by the way, Paola is also doing. She's a very sportive, strong girl. In my case, I know some people that do the cold plunge. You can do it, like, let's say in a more aggressive way, but when you do it using your mind, it's going to be way easier, more powerful. So in my case, what I did, knowing what I know about the mind, I was telling myself before, believing it with intention. I was saying, I love cold water. Cold water is good for me. Cold water is going to make me healthier. And then obviously in the beginning it was more difficult, but I've been doing it now for 2 months. And I mean, the cold showers and the plunges, I've done 2, and I've stayed, last time I stayed 1 minute or in -5 degrees water. Some people do much more, obviously, but for me, it's a lot. But what really kept me going and doing this was my mind, just like Paola said, with her amazing race example. So really, guys, it's not that difficult. We just need to know the right technique and work with our minds in a different way. Anyone else? Nura, Rahmat, Balash, Marina, or Patrick? I know, again, I know some of you might be shy, and I appreciate your private comments and beautiful things you said. Just inviting you, if you want to also speak publicly, you're very welcome. No one else? Are you sure? Rahmat, do you want to share something? You're a very brave person, and I'm so glad to meet you. So if you want to share something, I will be very happy. If not, it's okay.
Hello for everyone. I'm sorry that I come very late. They have my sound?
It's okay.
Yeah, I thought that it maybe started at 19 because of I don't use the Telegram all the times. It will be good to you contact in WhatsApp because
Let's do that.
in WhatsApp I'm very active. Yeah.
Okay.
I come very late. I will watch the record, but I don't have any comment.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting. Next time I will come to on time.
Okay, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We'll do the WhatsApp then.
Yeah.
Okay. And yes, and I hope next time also you can comment some things, because Rahman is someone I met very recently, but it's when he will want, he will comment, but he's a very brave person and has a very interesting life, and I know he could inspire us with his life experience. Okay, anyone else? Last words or sharings or questions or anything? And so, yeah, okay, talk, and then I'm just reading the last comments. Anyone else wants to comment, say something? Okay, so I see some of the comments. Again, I really appreciate all the beautiful things you're saying. And about the slides, I am going to share some of the tips with you. So the only thing I ask, and I put the message in the beginning, I'm putting it again. So it will be very, very helpful if you can answer this short survey. And answering the survey, I will give you 2 gifts. I will give you an audio relaxation of 10 minutes. And I will give you the tips. It's not the entire presentation because it's really too much, but I'm going to summarize it, and I am going to give you parts of the slides, the most important ones, and all the tips for this New Year resolutions webinar. So this answering to one of your questions. And some of the people that had to go, okay. So I'll say it again, if somebody's not okay with this being recorded and put it publicly in social media, could be YouTube, could be my website or anything else. If you're not okay with this, that's fine. Please just let me know, because otherwise I'm gonna make it public so that other people can benefit from this information and all the beautiful comments that you guys did at the end. All right, so if there's anything else, I wanna thank you for joining. We will do other seminars. So people, yes, Nura.
Yeah, hello. Thank you a lot for the great webinar. I just have a question about decision making. What makes sometimes decision making so hard? And the older we get, sometimes it gets even harder.
True. That's a great question. There are many reasons why it can be hard. And one of the main reasons, it's our primitive mind. I barely mentioned it today because we were talking about something else, but that's a very good point. So thank you, Nora, for bringing it. Because what makes it hard to make a decision or make a change is the fear that lays in our primitive mind. Because, and I will repeat this webinar, I will invite you, our primitive mind is the mind we had thousands and thousands of years ago that is not wired for change. Our primitive mind is it's wired for keeping you in the comfort zone, because that means you are safe. And there's a long explanation. I don't want to keep you guys for a long time, but basically our primitive mind is afraid of any change. So that's why when you want to do something different, even if it seems very simple, your primitive mind keeps you where you are. Because when we were in tribes many years ago, living with a lot of real dangers, which could be other tribes killing us, the weather, other animals, other also diseases. We didn't have hospitals, obviously, so many years ago. Our mind was trying to keep us as much as possible in a group and with the things you know. So any change is usually very, very difficult for us. So I would say that's the general answer. Again, there are other reasons and it's also personal, but I'm sure with this primitive mind webinar, it will be more clear. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you, Nora, for joining. I know you're also very busy. But Balázs, I think you wanted to say something.
Hi, Letty, can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, my Hungarian.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to talk about before, just even my mic died, so I had to restart, refresh the page. So now I'm here.
All right.
No, actually, at the moment, I'm sorry I could join just later at this time because I was working. But next time, I promise you, I will be there from the beginning. And yes, I can correct you that you're the only one who can pronounce my name correctly. So.
All right.
Perfect as well. And I don't know when I joined the webinar, but there was actually a slide where I worked in private. I worked next to drawing, painting, and photography. I don't recall that which topic was that, but these are my favorite hobbies as well. And for sure, spending time with my wife. You know that we are together now. So.
Yes. And she's very welcome also to join. And I know she's a great artist. She has very beautiful pictures.
Yeah, sure, as well. Sure. Somehow it's in the family, but from different perspectives.
Of course. Yours are also with the very professional camera, I remember. So thank you for joining. Sure. And really, guys, it doesn't matter if you join later. I understand some of you work. And anyway, the important thing is that you came here. We're gonna put this live. I mean, I'm going to publish this so you can watch it again, or you can share it if it can be useful for somebody. And again, if you can be kind and answer the survey, would be amazing, because that way I can also tailor the next webinars. They're going to be also for free. I just need some input on the timing and the days, because I know this time can be very good for some, but for others, you are finishing working. For others, you're starting to have dinner. So it will also be a great feedback so that I can make it in the best possible time for you. Okay, so if there isn't anything else, I would love to thank you again for joining. I really hope this was useful. And I will be very happy to send you the tips and the free audio for relaxation for those who can answer this survey. So thank you so much, and I will keep you posted. You can see on Instagram, or if you subscribe on my website, if you send the email, I can also keep you posted when I do more webinars. And the next one probably is going to be the primitive mind. So keep safe, start strong this new year, and remember, we need to stop beating ourselves up. You need to build yourself up, and there are many ways to do it. So I'm sure it's going to be a great year, for sure, better than last year. There are many good premises for this year. So thank you again, and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Patrick. So nice to see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you again. Nora, Marina.
Bye-bye. Thanks to you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.